Democrats. Today is Friday, July 8th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Friday. So it's been a heavy week, and I guess short weeks always are heavy because we're cramming 5 days of information within 4 days. It's been a heavy week, and today is no different. So I just want to kind of recap some of the news that I think you guys might want to know about. So today, President Biden announced that he signed some kind of, I don't know what we're going to call it, but basically saying that he's going to do whatever he can to make sure that to protect reproductive rights, that we've gone too far, and that he's going to do whatever he can to protect reproductive rights. He recognizes the states that are extreme, where we live, that are just trying to ban all abortions with no exceptions. Don't even get me started. But we absolutely, we need common sense to prevail, right? Enough of the chaos. Common sense needs to prevail because you and I know, I'm going to keep saying it as long as I have to, that ending all abortions, according to what it is that Oklahoma is trying to do, doesn't end all abortions. It ends all safe, legal abortions. It limits who has access to family planning, frankly. And so let's just be honest about what it is. Second thing. So the Oklahoma Ethics Commission, for those of you who aren't ingrained in it like I am, every candidate who runs for office has to register, has to set up a campaign, whether they raise money or not. They have to go to the Ethics Commission and set up a campaign and say, I plan to run for office. I'm going to be receiving some funds and I'm going to spend some funds. It's all about transparency. It's all about making sure that we ferret out dark money, that there aren't illegal campaign contributions and all of that kind of stuff. And so first I need to say that there was a Democrat on the that they discussed today who did not file a report. There is no allegation that he took money illegally or that he spent money he wasn't supposed to. He didn't file a report. And I think he didn't file a report because Democrats keep saying that we don't want to have money in politics and that we don't want to be beholden. And that's not super realistic, guys. If you run for office, set up your campaign. If you set up your campaign, file on time. Okay, so that's my PSA. If you run for office, set up a campaign and file on time. There are plenty of people who have run for office, who plan to run for office, who have helped people run for office, who can help you file your ethics reports if you don't know how. Ethics reports, thank you, Angela, are super important because we need to know. We need to know who is supporting a candidate. Who is the candidate going after and asking for money from? So I talk about that because the Republican Senatorial Committee, I'm going to make sure I call it by the right thing, Republican Senatorial Committee, was a big discussion in today's reports. It wasn't because they didn't file on time. It wasn't because they didn't set up a report. It's because all kinds of mayhem was happening in that campaign. They were accepting money for corporations against the rules. They were saying that they were using money for this, but they were using it for that, against the rules. They were accepting earmarked money against the rules. The type of PAC that it was a limited PAC, which is the only thing they're supposed to do is raise money to donate to campaigns. That's it. And they were doing all manner of other things. And they were doing it, I don't know, just willy-nilly, because it wasn't one case. It was just wholly that they were just kind of doing what they want. And that goes back to the one-party rule in our state. One party. And so they just get lazy and they do whatever they want to. And I don't think that anyone's going to hold them accountable, even if they are bigots. The last chair of the OKGOP, is on record as a bigot. He says that Muslims are cancer and that should be cut out. And they elected him. In the state Senate race, for State Senate District 2, there is an openly unabashed bigot running for that seat. It is an open seat. His name is Jaron Jackson. And on the Republican side, it looks like he's winning. He was the top vote getter on June 28th. This is him on the screen. He had a shirt that says, "It's okay to be white." Got to tell you, I've been in America for a really long time. I'm not real sure who it is who's saying that it's not okay to be white. I don't even understand what that means. But his candidate, our candidate, who's running as a Democrat for that seat, I think she thinks it's okay to be white. I'm not sure. Please join me in welcoming Jennifer Esau.
Thanks so much.
Jennifer.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I want to tell you a little bit about Jennifer before we get started. Jennifer has been a teacher for more than 20 years. She's been trying to work inside the system. She's been a teacher of the year for elementary school that she taught at for a couple of years. She deeply cares. I met Jennifer when she first ran for office in 2018, and she struck me as someone who cares and somebody who I would like to represent me back then. And now we have a real opportunity, because surely Oklahoma wants reason over chaos, common sense over bigotry. But you tell me, you live in that district.
Yes, I wish when I read the article, I wish I was surprised, but I'm not. These beliefs of Mr. Jackson's are known by some of the things he says and demonstrates. So unfortunately, I'm not surprised. But I wonder how many of his supporters really understand the degree to which he has those extreme views. I really wonder about that. But he did win the most votes in the primary. He raised a lot of money. And with a lot of money, you can do a lot of things. So that's what's unfortunate about this.
So for because this is kind of a statewide viewing, tell people where Senate District 2 is.
Yes, so Senate District 2 has changed a little bit with the redistricting. It's mostly Rogers County, and we picked up a northeast portion of Tulsa County, which is mostly like Collinsville. So this time it's they took away part of Mays County, which is a little disappointing. But it's a little bit smaller in some ways, so a little bit better to door knock, but still very rural. Great district to be in.
Speaking of door knocking, I have to say thank you for agreeing to join me, because I don't know that I can log on to Facebook with the sun up and not see a picture of you door knocking. How much door knocking are you doing?
A lot. We're trying to hit every day. But we're trying to hit the morning time when it's not quite as hot, but it's when you get out, you kind of forget about the heat. You just kind of get excited when you go up to people's doors and they may recognize you from last time, or they're just so surprised that you came to their door. They're relieved that there's a Democrat. And when I say I'm a teacher, that really kind of breaks the ice and warms people up to you. So I would say door knocking is the best part of this, because especially being a Democrat, people are surprised that there's a Democrat running. And it's just nice to meet people where they're at. So
how would you say this time is different from 2018?
I would say, the last time I ran, I had decided to run well before the walkout. I had things in place way before the walkout even started, but the walkout really energized a lot of teachers, a lot of parents. People were fired up. So I had a lot of volunteers. This time, teachers are tired. Teachers are wore out. They've had a heck of a couple of years. And so, I do have volunteers, but it's been a little challenging asking for help, because how just how spent people are. So it is different this time.
Well, what I'm going to say about that is that folks who are volunteering now absolutely care
Right.
because we're in a heat wave. But
Right.
I see, and it's not always you and the same people. It's
Right.
you and different people who are driving you around. And so the folks that are volunteering, they really care. Now, I'm going to ask Scott to put up your website so you can get some more volunteers.
I will say every time I go, I pick up two or three, at least a couple of volunteers. And just yesterday, we picked up a couple that are coming to my fundraiser next week. And so it's really fun.
So, besides education, which is absolutely paramount that we do something about education, because our governor every day, I don't know if he takes time between, which surely is like an 11-step facial process and some moves. And I mean, there's some process happening. If he takes time between that and trying to figure out how he can tear down education. So absolutely, education is a big deal. But what else do the people in Senate District 2, what are they talking to you about at the doors?
Well, I do want to say when he attacks one public school, he's attacking all of us, him and Mr. Walters. So I take it very personal. I don't care what district he's talking about. He's talking about all of us. So I do want to say that. When I go to the doors and I introduce myself, they're just disgusted with the mismanagement of funds at the top. It's constantly a different scandal all the time. And so it feels very convenient that he's going after public schools right now. So I would say mismanagement of taxpayer money would be the top thing. Um, I think just overall frustration with the direction that we're headed. I mean, people are upset about inflation, gas prices, that sort of thing. But I think there's just a frustration overall with politics. I sometimes don't think it's just one thing. I think people, every time we have a shooting, every time there's a Supreme Court, the recent decisions, people want to talk about those things. People are engaged. They're paying attention. And I find that very refreshing. I find it very encouraging that people are paying attention and they have thoughts that are important to them. And I started this by being frustrated with my legislator not listening to me. And that's what I'm trying to demonstrate when I go to people's doors, that I want to be that person who listens, because that's who I haven't had. That's where my frustration lies. So, I think we don't always have to have the answers, but just letting people know that their voice is important. It's valued. So, yeah.
So my next question was going to be, what is it that you want people to hear? But I think that says it all. Is that representation government is real,
Mm-hmm.
that our elected officials need to listen to us,
Right.
and that you're ready to do it.
Well, I've always taught my kids that we learn more from people we don't agree with. The main thing is that we all are respectful enough to have to sit down and have those conversations. And when I talk about that at the door with people, that's a real that's a great way to reel people in, because they want to they understand that feeling. So I'm not a politician. I don't have a big agenda, so to speak, but we need people that are representing us, that are listening and paying attention. And Mr. Jaron Jackson's views do not represent all of us, and I find it a little frightening, actually.
Well, I mean, it is scary, and it's scary for me. I don't live in Claremore, Collinsville, but it's a little scary to me that he was the top vote getter in the Republican primary. And these aren't new views. These aren't secret views that he only tells his close friends and family, that, he's in public with a shirt on that says that, right? We're going to ignore the dumb hat, but he's in public with a shirt that says it's okay to be white. I don't know what that means, but seeing that, it's incredibly disturbing, because what it says to me, and not because I'm Black, what it says to me, because I'm an American, is that guy's a conspiracy theorist. I don't know what the conspiracy is. I don't know what the theory is, but he's into that. And he admits it.
Yep.
And that's who people are voting for. And I just needed to make sure that people understood that there was a choice, that there is a better choice. There's a real human being named Jennifer Esau that they have an opportunity to vote for, because we cannot add that to the mix of what is happening in the Capitol.
Right. That's why
folks to see there's reason. There is reason in Claremore. There's reason running.
Yes. That's why your vote matters. That's why donating to candidates, that's why it matters, because people like him can raise a lot of money, and bottom line, this all comes down to money. And you can send a lot of mailers, you can do a lot of things when you have money. There's more Republicans in the state, so there's a bigger pool of money than there is for Democrats. That's why it's so very important. $5, $10, anything you can give matters. And I'm so humbled by the people that do donate to me. It's quite a responsibility, and you want them to know that you're going to work hard and that you value their belief in you. And so I take it very seriously.
I'm so glad to hear that. So if you are somewhere in Senate District 2, or you just like what you just heard, I implore you to go out to jenniferesau.com. Sign up to volunteer. I know she'd be grateful for somebody to drive her around. Sign up to put out yard signs, donate to our campaign. Reason is on the ballot in Senate District 2, and we need to send common sense to Oklahoma City. Thanks for joining me, Jennifer. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Sure. Guys, we have work to do. I tell you all the time that you need to pick a candidate and support that candidate. And it's not just, smiling when you see their name across your Facebook feed, but actually getting out and supporting that candidate. Somebody in Claremore, tell them about Jennifer. You can't afford to donate. Now, listen, when people think about donating, they're thinking $100, $500. I am telling you, and you just heard a candidate saying, any little bit helps. They appreciate any amount. If you can't afford big amounts and you want to give $10 a month to the rest of the campaign, $10 a month, sign up for recurring donations. She can count on that. She can count on that, and she can make plans. $25 a month. She can count on that, and she can make plans for how many yard signs she can sell, how many door cards she can have, how much water she can buy for her volunteers. She needs that help. All of our candidates need that help. And it's not just in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. We have to expand our reach as Democrats outside of the urban centers. And by electing someone like Jennifer, specifically Jennifer, by electing someone like Jennifer, that expands our reach, and we get a bigger voice that represents all types of Oklahomans, so that we have reason in Oklahoma City. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you learned a lot from Jennifer, and I will be back here Monday at 4:15. Have a great weekend. Help a candidate.